Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, the 15th of March 2021. So over the weekend, the US have changed to daylight savings, and this only affects any American market that you're actually trading. We don't change the clocks until the 28th, so there's a 2 weeks difference with regards to this. So for example, if you trade in the Dow, then you want to come under settings here and then primary times, and you need to change from 14:30 and 20:30 and move back 1 hour, so 13:30 and 19:30. Make sure that you click on apply and then file save, and this will then synchronize the Dow with the UK. And even if you use the Dow as a backdrop for when you're trading the German DAX in the afternoon to see what's happening as well, make sure that you do this. Okay, let's have a look at what else is going on. It's been a busy weekend news-wise. Again, we've got bulls rushing with more stimulus on the way. So what is the stimulus? Well, guess what? We've got another 2 trillion already lined up, this time for infrastructure. You can't make it up. I mean, last year they had 2 trillion for infrastructure under Trump, and now we're back to the same thing again. So as it says here, if you think that 1.9 trillion is a lot of money, this does not mean that the Democrats are not going to stop their spending spree. No, they're just going to keep going. Bitcoin, banks and small caps surge on stimmies. That's the stimulation checks, and further stimulation coming with the infrastructure spending of 2 trillion, beating a path straight to the death of the dollar. And 50 basis points apparently is all that's required to disaster. The Fed can resist it with ever greater amounts of printing press money, and certainly the Fed will. It's the only way the government to stay in business. So yeah, some interesting things happening here, and I don't know what happened on Friday, but this, they printed a 7-year auction. No, it's a 10-year auction and a 30-year auction last week, which were covered fine. But there's no stopping the yield moving high. We're at 163. This moved up sharply on Friday. And there was a strange thing that happened during Friday's session, which you can't see now, but there was a spike down to 155, which seems to have been removed. But overnight, you can see there we're at 162. We're at 163 at the moment. So yeah, you've got to keep an eye on this 10-year yield at the moment, because some very strange things going on. There's something not right about the whole thing at the moment, and we're seeing this in the implied volatility as well. This dropping sharply on Friday. Again, this indicating that there is a correction coming in the markets. The market's continuing to move to the upside, back to green in the color-coded version as well. Now, while I'm here, no news for today. No news Monday. The market's got to make its own direction. Just having a look through Wednesday, we've got FOMC. The times are out on this. So again, on your Forex Factory, let me just change this, because we have to update this with the change in the clocks. And if I can see the time somewhere on here, I will actually change it. Oh, there we go, just here. So that's what you're looking for, just there, and then just change it. So I think this has got daylight savings are off. Let's just check. It's synchronized time. So how do we change it? Oh, right, now you have to actually join Forex Factory. You didn't have to do that before. There was an option just to include daylight savings. And okay, so if you don't join Forex Factory, you'll just have to mentally, for the next couple of weeks, work on the basis that there's an hour difference between these times, because this is synchronized with my computer's clock. Yes, it is. So right, okay, so you're gonna have to keep in mind, if you don't join Forex Factory, I don't think you have to pay for it. I think you just have to sign up, that these times will be out by an hour, because 7 p.m. is when they normally do the FOMC stuff. So again, just keep that in mind for the next couple of weeks. So FOMC on Wednesday, Bank of England on Thursday, which is the correct time. And yeah, so not a lot of news this week, just FOMC really, and the rates on Wednesday, unless Powell does something with those, which I very much doubt he would do. He'd crash the market if he tried to raise rates there. So all of that out of the way, let's have a look and see where the markets are over the last couple of sessions. We can see that we're up again on Friday, new all-time high for the Dow, which is just incredible. It's just vertical at the moment. Makes you wonder what else they're going to do now, because until they print the 2 trillion for the infrastructure work, then the market really hasn't got a lot to go on, has it? And if the yields continue to increase, it's going to put downward pressure on the Dow. So 32,000, just under 33,000 there. May get to that first before the market corrects, but due for a correction would be the warning that I would heed for the stock markets. You can see how much the market's put on. We've got resistance here in the German DAX, not as strong an update for the DAX as it was for the Dow, probably because they confirmed the 1.9 trillion stimulus. So price is sitting there on the 5-bar moving average at the moment in the daily chart, with a set of fibs here on the downside should the market correct. You could actually use this one as well, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't bother. I'd stick with the bigger time frame ones there, or the bigger swing, as it were, from this low to the all-time high. And overnight, we can see that prices just get back there. So yeah, we're here. Prices are lower, down to the 200 MA, bouncing off this back to the high of Friday. And at the moment, we're sitting on the DP, which is a very interesting place to be, isn't it? So again, we're below the 200. We've got the close and the high above. Let's just squeeze this up a lot more so we can see. So we've got 100 points, or just less than 100 points down to the low, and then to the high. Not as many points up. Looks around about 60 points to the high there. So that's where we are. You can see what we've got pivot point wise and the previous day's close, etc. High and low. So keep an eye on those should the market have any volatility at the kickoff. Okay, let's have a look at Friday. The market moving sharply lower initially in the futures. You can see prices moving down, finding support at the low. The low is always very important, as I've mentioned many times before. However, when the market opened, it wanted to test this, sending the market down to the BRN, and you can see how they brought the market back quickly, and then it failed as further selling came in. But you'll see here now you've got greater volume in this bar than the previous bar, and price is starting to find some support there at the S2. Here's further confirmation with the green bar coming in. The low of this bar is less than the previous bar's low, which means nobody wanted to bid down to that point. And then prices just traded sideways until we had a potential buy signal, which didn't last long on the upside, because we've got this resistance where the market sold off initially. And you'll see this at the moment as the prices came back to the low. They didn't want to hold. You could see they were not going to hold, so I decided to jump ship at this point, which prices then moved back to the downside. We then had confirmation of the sell side, and then the market was stuck in a sideways move. Came back up towards the stop, and then eventually just shot down. Very quickly shot down to the S2. Of course, you've got that buying over here. The buyers were picked up again once more in this area, and this really defined the morning session, because prices then just traded sideways, as you will see here, coming back, retesting that 14,470 level, and then just getting narrower as the morning went on, as you can see there. In the afternoon, prices also back at the S2, and then we see a buy signal from the start, and it was I was having a look at the yield, and you can see there we'd already got to 161, with prices then moving to the upside, which we can see there, stuck at the BRN, and then trading back up to the low. So as the market got back to the BRN, You just see there we're up to 22 points. I was hoping it was going to continue up straight away, but it started to head back towards the 5-bar moving average, so took the profits off the table. And then the market did drift back up to the low, but became sideways and then started to head back down and then back to the BRN there. So it was just a very quiet, steady afternoon, considering that the Dow was going on to make new all-time highs. The DAX just stayed in a sideways range there. Okay, that will do it for this one. If there is anything else to report, I will let you know. But otherwise, as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next.